The Interpark Wild Wind. How can such a small roller coaster be too intense for the United States? How can the same country home to Top Thrill Dragster and Intimidator 305 give such a small fair ride the cold shoulder? Let's find out today on Theme Park Crazy. Our story begins in 1974, when Italian manufacturer Interpark got their start in Spilamberto, Italy. Since then, the company has made a name for itself as one of the leading ride manufacturers in Europe. With facilities in Italy and Romania, Interpark prides itself on meeting all standards of European quality.
What distinguishes a roller coaster of Interpark is the quality, durability, compactness, the profit margins for operators, and to meet specific customer needs in terms of capacity, design, infrastructure, and innovation.
Safety, competitive price, quality, compact, low maintenance cost, profit. All this is Interpark.
Interpark has built almost 200 roller coasters for both permanent parks and traveling fairs. The company's coasters have operated in over 50 countries and 5 continents. Interpark has reached this milestone by focusing on smaller, compact coasters that are both easy to install and more affordable compared to other rides out there. After the acquisition of the now defunct Pinfari in 2007, Interpark continues to manufacture vintage coaster models like the Zyklon and the Big Apple. As for Interpark's original models, one in particular really stands out from the rest. That model is the Wild Wind. This thrilling coaster model takes up a compact triangular space of around only 25 by 25 meters. It stands at a mere 10 meters tall and is a brief 200 meters long. Yet despite its minuscule stats, it manages to pack in both a helix and an inversion. More specifically, the layout features an ultra-tight sidewinder that pulls some serious G-forces. In fact, the signature inversion pulls a whopping 4 Gs on its passengers. That's 4 times the force of gravity, and it's only half a G less than the famously forceful Intimidator 305 at Virginia's King's Dominion. On the other hand, the forces on the Wild Wind are unlike those on I-305. Instead of positive Gs pressing down on the riders, the forces are lateral, meaning they press on passengers' sides. More specifically, these forces occur during the sidewinder. As a result, the ride has received a mixed response from riders, with many labeling it as an uncomfortable ride experience. YouTube user BumpIJL200 describes it as quite a rough coaster, though it is pretty fun in my opinion. YouTube user CactusCuchin777 says, if you are not careful enough, you will need new ears and a new neck. And YouTube user Dr. Duwat says, it was unbearably rough despite being open for less than a year. Regardless of its reception, the coaster has proved to be decently popular. Its low cost and compact layout make it especially appealing to traveling showmen, and even a few permanent parks have installed them. Examples of the latter include 2 operating in Tunisia and Loop It at Greece's Alu Fun Park. And here's a fun fact, Loop It is the only permanent coaster in Greece to feature an inversion. However, one installation in particular was a complete and total failure. Around the late 90s, an undisclosed Korean park had ordered a Wild Wind. Unfortunately, the deal would end up falling through, and the ride was never installed. After the deal failed, the ride was acquired by Italian manufacturer Zamperla. The same manufacturer would go on to acquire Brooklyn's Coney Island just years later. Meanwhile in New York, Westchester County's Playland amusement park was looking for an exciting new attraction. Attendance had been steadily increasing in the 90s, and in 1999, the county-run park would draw a record attendance of 1.1 million people. On the other hand, while the park was looking for a new ride, they were hesitant to spend too much money. Attractions bought outright can cost over $1 million. In fact, Playland previously lost over $1 million in 1994 when an unspecified ride they purchased operated for less than 30 hours before being shut down. Fortunately, since the aforementioned Wild Wind was originally purchased by a Korean park, it could be acquired for a much lower price. Behind the scenes, Westchester officials got in contact with Zamperla, who agreed to install the coaster for no additional fee. The plan seemed perfect. Playland would buy an inexpensive coaster that was both small and thrilling, all while sticking to a strict budget. Westchester's Park and Rec Commissioner Salvatore A. DeSantis said the deal, quote, looked like a win-win. So with that being said, what could possibly go wrong? Unfortunately, the answer to that question is a lot. While the ride was fully constructed at Playland in 1999, it wasn't until the testing phase that engineers discovered a major flaw. The ride wasn't just intense, it was potentially dangerous. Though the Wild Wind operated exactly as intended, park officials got cold feet when they saw just how intense it was. At the time of its installation, there was no government limit on G-forces on rides, and the coaster did meet all safety standards. However, in the words of park supervisor Joseph Montallo, what if someone got hurt? This question proved detrimental to the ride's eventual removal. Montallo also said, quote, I was concerned that people might get pains in their necks. Another likely factor to the ride's removal was the Consumer Product Safety Commission reporting 6 deaths on fixed amusement rides in 1999, making it the most deadliest year for fixed rides in over a decade. And after such a relatively accident-prone year for the industry, Playland officials were less than willing to install something that posed any kind of a safety risk. What if someone sprained a shoulder, pulled a collarbone, or took a hard bump to the head? Despite Interpark properly designing the ride, it was deemed too dangerous and risky to open. After months of standing but not operating on the property, the coaster was dismantled in the year 2000. To this day, only one photo exists of this ride at Playland. The ride's removal led to government officials urging more caution when it comes to buying rides at bargain deals. Committee Chairwoman Ursula G. Lamott said of the ride, quote, when it comes to safety issues, we have to be more cautious. The failure of the Wild Wind would trigger a discussion on how cutting costs can be dangerous when it comes to amusement rides. This dialogue is still ongoing. As for the coaster, the Wild Wind would be acquired by another park not too far away from Playland. Just months after leaving Playland, the ride would be shipped to New Jersey's Keansburg Amusement Park. The same year it arrived, though, it would be removed yet again without opening to the public. The reasons for its immediate removal are unknown, but its dangerous reputation from Playland may have played a significant role. And as if that weren't enough, it would be shipped yet again to Virginia's Motor World, a go-kart facility that was once home to a few roller coasters. But just as quickly as it arrived, it was gone once again. As of today, no one knows where this Wild Wind ended up. Whether it was sold to a traveling fair or scrapped entirely is still one of the amusement industry's biggest mysteries. In summary, the story of the Wild Wind in America is truly an interesting one. It seemed to be just too intense for the US. And as of today, none have been installed in the country. From the look of things, this coaster seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It came to America in a year with too many ride accidents and succumbed to the caution of park officials. Had it been installed a year earlier, there's a chance it would still be on the property. Though you can still check out these coasters internationally, there's unlikely to be any installations in America in the near future. For now, it seems like this coaster's future in America is gone with the wind.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.